Yeah, Zach. So, I mean, you guys made today possible. Our September boot camp brought to us by BlockFi. I'd like to take a little bit of time just to dig into your background a little bit, into the company. I'd love to hear, how did you get started with BlockFi? What drew your interest to crypto in the first place, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've always worked, I graduated school in May of 2009. I always anticipated that I would work in the financial industry, but that wasn't the best time to be trying to get a job in the financial industry. It was the last kind of major market event prior to this one, 08, 09 financial crisis.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a job at a advertising technology startup in New York. Throughout my career, I've always worked at venture-backed technology startups. I really enjoy that environment of entrepreneurialism and building things and working with smaller teams and getting stuff done quickly. So I was in ad tech, part of two companies that were very successful, one that was acquired by Google. And then more recently and more relevantly to the BlockFi story, I moved into fintech, specifically the online lending side of fintech. And I was working at a company in that space that aggregated data for institutional investors and provided them with technology tools that enabled them to interact with online lending platforms like Lending Club and Prosper and Funding Circle and others. And while I was doing that work, I kind of became the fintech guy amongst my friend group. And people, all my friends would ask me, should I be using Betterment? Should I be investing in commercial real estate on Fundrise?
Should you be reading benzinga.com even?
Yeah, exactly. So I started writing about this stuff. I had a really small, personal finance blog where I was writing about what was happening in fintech and how some of these things could be interesting for consumers. And in writing that blog, I stumbled across Bitcoin. And originally, I guess I kind of thought about it in a less sophisticated version of the way Chamath thinks about it, where I was like, this thing could be a complete game changer, or it could go to zero. This is back in 2014. So I was, earlier than some, later than some folks in terms of getting into it. But I bought Bitcoin for $300 for the first time when it had gone from 1,000 down to 300, and it doubled like a month later. And I sold it all and just gave myself a huge pat on the back. I was like, look at how smart of a cryptocurrency investor guy you are. But then I bought it back in. I bought back in at a higher price. I learned about Ethereum. I made an analogy in my head that Ethereum was kind of like an iPhone to Bitcoin's BlackBerry. And so I also invested in Ethereum in 2016. And then in early 2017, excitement around the space just really started to pick up and the prices started to go up. And I was trying to get a loan with a bank in Texas to buy a house down there. And I listed Bitcoin and Ethereum on my financial statement that I submitted to the bank for the loan. And the bank completely freaked out. And they accused me of potentially being involved in some illicit activities, and they were not sure if I was going to pass their compliance screens. And that was my light bulb moment for starting BlockFi. We felt that there was going to be a need for debt and credit products for crypto investors, just like there's a need for debt and credit products for investors in every other asset class. And from there, our vision has expanded quite a bit. We've iterated on it, and it's grown much larger. And today, we really think we're building a global financial services company that offers banking-like products, but that are better for consumers than products that are available in the traditional system. So, the thing we're most popular for today is our interest account, where you can earn a yield of 8.6% on stable coins, which are interchangeable with dollars, and a yield of 6% on your Bitcoin. And we were one of the pioneers of making that available in the crypto ecosystem.
Awesome, and I do want to give a little round of applause to you and your team for making that BlockFi interface awesome. I actually just signed up for my account. Well, you were having fun talking to Chamath. I was having fun signing up for my BlockFi account, and it was a really easy process. So I'm excited to dig in there. So somebody from the Benzinga team, go ahead and drop that link in the chat there, so other people can check that out. But I guess, Zach, the question for you then is, how big of an opportunity is crypto? Where are we in terms of the adoption curve? What's coming up for us?
It's so early. I mean, in my mind, it doesn't matter how you define the opportunity. We are so far away from capturing even a single digit percentage of the opportunity. So some folks would say the opportunity is that Bitcoin can be a replacement for gold or a competitor to gold. Gold's $9 trillion market cap, Bitcoin's 200 billion. Bitcoin and blockchain technology have also created this new payment network that's fully digital and fully global and open to everyone. What's the value of global payments? It's, you know, tens of trillions of dollars. We're in the early days of building towards capturing some of that market. And one of the things that excites me most about the cryptocurrency ecosystem, and Mike and Chamath both touched on this a little bit, is that you're just seeing constant wins, whether that's really smart folks coming out and saying, I dug into this, I'm investing into it, or whether it's really smart and sophisticated companies like Fidelity or the CME, or fintech companies like Square and Robinhood and SoFi and soon to be PayPal, integrating cryptocurrency into their existing financial products and systems. So it's such early days. I feel the same way about the potential upside in Bitcoin that I did when I bought it for the first time, which is that this is the type of thing that you can have in your portfolio, and it has a very realistic opportunity to do a 2, 3, 4, 5, 10x in the relatively near future. And there's not a lot of investments that you can look at that have that type of profile in terms of potential returns. And on top of that, they have this social impact element to them where, you know, we're very, very fortunate to live in the US, where the dollar is our reserve currency. There are a lot of places in the world where, you know, say whatever you want about our government, but there are a lot of places in the world where they have worse systems, and they especially have worse currency systems. And so, you know, there are markets like Turkey, for example. I think Argentina might be another one, where Bitcoin's at all-time highs right now, denominated in the Turkish lira. We still have a ways to go to get there on the dollar, but that element of this being something that could actually have a very positive impact on global society, in addition to the investment returns, is what makes it particularly exciting for me.
Awesome. And so you know, you're talking about what you're excited with Bitcoin, with crypto in general. What about over at BlockFi? What are you most excited about that you guys either have worked on, have done, or have coming up?
Yeah. So you know, I was thinking I might just do a quick product demo so folks could see, like, 1 or 2 minutes, how easy our system is. So
All right, let's do it. And for at least the sign up process, I will attest to it. It was definitely easy, very straightforward.
I'm not going to show you the sign up process because I've already signed up, but you can do it on our mobile app, or you can do it on the web. So this is what a BlockFi account looks like on the web version. You've got your summary. Our most popular product is this interest account. The way it works is super simple. You hold assets in here. You see your Bitcoin balance, your annual yield, and then you've got your transaction history. If I go down to, you know, August 31st, the end of last month, I see my interest payment. Notably, this is denominated in Bitcoin. So you're holding your Bitcoin in this account and you're earning Bitcoin interest every month. Everybody knows the term compound interest. Everybody knows why it's smart to let your assets compound and put them to work for you. And we make that possible with Bitcoin. You also have other assets in here like the Gemini dollar, which is 1-to-1 with USD. You can earn 8.6% annual yield on that in the BlockFi ecosystem. Depositing, you've already signed up, but depositing is also pretty easy. So you can connect to your bank account and you know, deposit via ACH just like you would you know, on traditional fintech platforms. I already have a linked bank account here. I won't go through the steps in showing you how that works. You can also buy cryptocurrency. So if you ACH'd in cash, you're going to earn 8.6% on it. It's going to sit on our platform as a stable coin. And then whenever you decide, you can buy some Bitcoin. So I'm actually going to buy a little bit of Bitcoin right now with my GUSD balance. So you just type in the amount of Bitcoin you want to buy. You see your price conversions over here. I'm buying about $100 worth of Bitcoin. Review the trade. This is your trade confirmation screen. Submit, and it's done. Now, if I go back to my home page, my Bitcoin account balance will be updated, and I'll see that I just purchased a little bit of Bitcoin. There's a bunch of things over here in the profile settings around security and preferences. You can actually hold cash with us and have it converted to Bitcoin every month, but I won't go into those. So that's the quick demo. It's super simple. The mobile app is super simple as well. And the thing that I'm most excited about is early next year, we're launching a Bitcoin rewards credit card. So it's going to work just like a normal credit card. You're spending cash and you're earning rewards, except instead of earning airline miles or normal cash back, the rewards currency is Bitcoin. And it's going to be a really cool looking metal card. You know, obviously in this time in the world, we're all flying and traveling and staying at hotels way less than we used to. And earning rewards in cash, obviously you've got inflation, earning rewards in, you know, hotel or other points. Those things don't really go up in value. It's not a thing anyone would advise you to invest in. We think that earning rewards in Bitcoin is going to be really fun and also really powerful, not only for folks that already understand and believe in cryptocurrency and own some, but also for folks maybe like yourself, Luke, who you're like, yeah, I've heard of Bitcoin. I'm mainly a stock investor, but if you could get your hands on it in a really familiar, low risk, easy way, then that might be something that you would do.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many travel points I've accumulated this year and not been able to use. I'm like already planning trips for 2022. I'm like, like I got all these points. I mean, geez, there's nothing to spend them on.
Yeah, and
But
depending on the platform you're on, there can be a whole, you know, pain in the butt kind of thing when you actually try to spend them. And I've gone down that game. You know, I was like, when I was your age, probably, I was on thepointsguy.com and
oh
trying to,
yeah,
you know, arb the
I know
credit
it.
cards and all of that stuff. I can tell you how it ends. It ends with you've got all these points all over the place. You don't end up using them because they're inconvenient to use. And you come to the realization that you'd rather just earn something that, you know, can sit there and potentially appreciate a ton in value after you earn it. And for me, that's Bitcoin.
No, I like that. It's like my points dilemma is like, okay, I can use points for this flight, but it's 2.5 times the amount that I could buy a different flight with the cash.
Yeah.
But okay, if you don't mind, let me ask you a couple questions about the product, and this is
Sure.
coming from somebody who's a new user.
Absolutely.
Okay, you know, in terms of getting started, you know, I probably want to start smaller. I'm dipping my toe in here. Minimums are there minimums for me to be able to transfer assets in?
No minimums.
Okay.
No, you know, no fees based on your account balance if you don't hit a certain threshold. No minimums whatsoever. Actually, the you know, most frequent behavior that we see from new clients to BlockFi is that they do exactly what it sounds like this person with the question. Thank you for the question, by the way, is considering, which is start with a little bit. See how it works. Get familiar with the platform. Deposit money in, withdraw money out, get an interest payment or two. And then once you're comfortable, you understand how it works. If it makes sense for you, you can grow the size of your account, or you can keep it at the same size that you started with. Either way, the vast majority of folks end up growing their account balances with us pretty quickly, especially after they get their first interest payment or test out withdrawing from the platform, because we are a new company. You know, we're over 3 years old. We're backed by some incredible institutional quality investors, and we're well regulated in the U.S. But anytime you hear about something for the first time, there's an element of getting familiar with it, getting comfortable with it, so that you trust it. And I encourage everybody to, you know, try it out at an amount that works for them. And there's you know, no minimums whatsoever to make it easy for you to do that.
Okay, so let me ask you this: the interest earning component is really interesting to me. You know, I'm sort of typically like a risk seeking investor a little bit. So I'll sometimes, you know, buy stocks on margin and then use cash to buy assets that can give me some sort of yield. But there's not a ton out there right now. Is the interest available for everybody, or are there certain qualifications that I have to meet, or how does that work?
It's available for everyone. The one caveat is that there are a few geographic restrictions. So the interest earning functionality is available in every state in the US except for New York currently. And it's available in almost every country around the world, except for countries that are part of sanctions lists from either the EU or the US. So there's a few exclusions there in terms of geographic constraints. Those are there because of how we're regulated, which is a U.S. centric regulatory framework at both the federal and state level. But other than that, anyone can do it.
Awesome.
My
And
mother-in-law did it. My mother-in-law actually did it recently, and it's been hilarious. She's sending me like screenshots of her interest payment and being like, "This is awesome," and I'm like, "I know. It's the company that I founded, Susan."
I would hope it is. Gee, I love it. That's awesome. And just a second ago, you gave a little nod, a little preview to some of the investors that you guys have. I've got the list here in front of me. You've got Peter Thiel's fund involved. You've got Susquehanna, Fidelity, Winklevoss Capital. What went into bringing all these investors on board? I mean, that is as much of an all-star lineup as I can name.
So, I think it was a mix of performance in terms of us launching products, in terms of those products being used by folks who saw value in them and having very clear data pointing to positive trajectory trend lines in terms of that usage. And then it was also us demonstrating an ability as a company to continue to innovate and to learn every step along the way, primarily from just listening to our clients. Almost every product that we've built has kind of been at the intersection of things that I and other folks on the team who are cryptocurrency investors want, and things that our clients have told us that they want, and that basically makes up our product roadmap. And so, because of those two things, we've been able to very effectively raise capital to help fuel investment in growing our team, so that we can keep developing new and exciting products and adding more value for our clients. So just in the last year, we've closed 3 rounds of private equity venture capital funding for
Wow.
right around $100 million, and I don't think we're going to slow down.
I like it. And I want to pivot us a little bit to predictions on Bitcoin itself. I mean, I'm curious to hear, or crypto markets in general, curious to hear what your thoughts are on what the next, let's call it 3 to 5 years look like. We've also seen some really heavy hitting investors come out bullish on crypto, like Paul Tudor Jones recently. Give us some thoughts there.
So I'm a fan of the old adage that you overestimate what you can accomplish in the next 1 or 3 or 6 months, and then you underestimate what you can accomplish over a longer time horizon, like 3, 5, or 10 years. We have a monthly Bitcoin price prediction challenge for employees of BlockFi, where
Hey, I like it. That's fun.
We all guess the price of Bitcoin, and whoever's closest at the end of the month wins a little bit of Bitcoin. I'm regularly in like the top 5 percentile of guesses in terms of price, and I haven't won yet. And I generally think of myself as being someone who's bad at short-term price predictions, and that's not how I think about my Bitcoin investment. So on a 3 to 5 year time horizon, I think we're going to get to that point and look back to today and say, wow, we underestimated how far this thing would go in this time horizon. It's hard for me to put like an exact number on it, but I think the drivers of what we will see as spectacular investment performance will be continued innovation and adoption from companies like BlockFi and others who are active in this ecosystem. It will be as a result of really smart investors like Paul Tudor Jones, continuing to take a position and say, I've done my homework on this, I'm allocating capital to it, combined with the dynamics of Bitcoin itself, which is that it becomes provably more scarce over time. Every 4 years, less of it gets made, and eventually there's not going to be any more of it to mine. That's going to take a while, but I don't know, 50,000, 100,000. I mean, it's really hard to say exactly, but I think we'll be surprised. We'll be pleasantly surprised at how far we get on a 3 to 5 year time frame.
Yeah, I mean, those are definitely some exciting numbers. You know, it's yeah. I mean, it's sort of like the what other asset has that potential. I mean, the only thing that really could compete with that if you're a really good stock picker, and I think that most of us aren't that good.
Yeah, I mean, concentrated tech stocks, like individual names, even the index, it's tough to get that kind of
Oh,
uh,
absolutely.
performance out of it.
And we've only got a handful of minutes here, so I want to grab some questions that I'm seeing out of the chat. I see a couple of people asking about security over at BlockFi. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would encourage everyone to check out a video on YouTube that we posted recently with our Chief Security Officer, Adam Healy. He joined us from BACT, which is ICE, Intercontinental Exchanges, crypto division. So he has a wealth of experience. He leads up our security efforts, in conjunction with our risk management and technology and operations teams. Throughout our entire history of operating as a company, we've never had a security incident which exposed our clients' funds or our company funds to any losses whatsoever. And then also in terms of our risk management for the core business that we're in, which is facilitating lending of these assets in order to deliver the returns that we're offering to folks in our interest account. We've also had perfect performance and never lost a penny across any of the lending activities that we're doing. So we could spend an entire day going through all the nuance around information security, cyber security, operational security, and also risk management at BlockFi, and we're happy to do that. But that's what I'll say for now, given that we're short on time.
Cool. And then another question we've gotten a couple times is which coins are currently available on BlockFi? And will there be more added in the future?
Sure. So currently, we support Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and in terms of cryptocurrencies, those are the three that we have today. We have 4 different stable coins, kind of dollar interchangeable coins: USDC, GUSD, PAX, and Tether. And then we, in the last month or so, added support for a gold token called PAXG. It's a cryptocurrency that's backed by physical gold. So you can also earn interest on, a gold token on our platform, which is really exciting. We do have plans to add additional coins. We're not public with those plans, but I think over the next 6 months, you'll see us adding another 3 to 5 assets to the platform.
Okay, awesome. It's a nice little preview. All the bootcamp attendees just got a little tech preview. And last question, Zach. I believe you might have touched on this, but somebody's asking, can Canadian citizens open a BlockFi account, and which products are available to them?
Yes, Canadian citizens are welcome on our platform. We'd be thrilled to have you. And don't quote me on this because I might miss one, but I'm positive you're able to earn interest in trade. There might be some regional restrictions on our loan product in Canada. I hope I don't get this wrong, but I believe there's 5 or 6 provinces. I think in the majority of them, we're set up to have our loans be available to folks. There might be 1 or 2 where we're not able to offer our loans product yet, but earning interest and buying and selling our trading product are both available in Canada.
Awesome. And again, I sound sort of like a broken record, but I'll say it again, guys. Today only for everybody at the bootcamp, BlockFi is offering a special sign-up bonus. You get $50 worth of Bitcoin when you sign up and join today only. I'll be dropping that link again in the chat just a minute from now. And Zach, I know I already hit you with one joke, and I also know that the chat heckles me for my jokes, but I got to do another one. So something in me can't help it. So you ready for your second joke of the day?
Let's do it.
All right. What did the sushi say to the bee?
To the bee, like the bumblebee?
Like the bumblebee.
I don't know.
Wasabi. Get it? Like, what's up, bee? But, okay. All right, you got it. Yeah, the smile is confirmation that you got it.
I love it. I'm going to tell that to the kids later tonight.
All right, there we go. All right, Zach, thank you so much for joining us. And again, thank you to yourself and the whole BlockFi team for helping to make this day possible. It's been an amazing amount of content thus far, and I can't believe we're only about halfway.
Thanks, Luke, and everybody at Benzinga. I think that's it for me today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the rest of the agenda.